And that word there is Helen. We're just an Israelite that don't know he's an Israelite. That's what that mean, man. He just a straight up, he just became a straight up heathen, a straight up Greek, man. He don't know he's an Israelite. But salvation is for him, man. You know? That's what that's going into. The word there is Helen, man, when you look it up. And I already went over the definition of what it mean, man. Okay? So that's talking about the Israelite. So going back to, let me go to Matthew 10 and 5. This is Matthew's 10 and 5, right? These 12 YAHAWASHI sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles and into any cities of Samaria, enter ye not. Now, the reason why, now you got two different forms of Gentile, like I always mention, right? As a matter of fact, we're going to look up that word Gentile there to make sure. We're going to look up that word Gentile to see if it's ethnos or Helen. Matthew 10 and 5. Right? Matthew 10 and 5. That word there is ethnos when you look it up. The word there is ethnos. Okay? Which is going back to common culture. I already explained that to you, so you should know. Right? In the same video. Well, later on in the other parts of the video, I already explained it to you, so you should know that that word ethnos is talking about an Israelite. Right? It's Matthew's 10 and 5. These 12 YAHAWASHI sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles and into any city of Samaria, enter ye not. The reason why he said don't go into the way of the Gentiles at that particular time is because those Israelites, it wasn't manifest to them to see what was going on with who the world really called Jesus. It wasn't sent to them first because the Israelites who knew they was Israelites, they had to reject it, pursuing the Romans 11th chapter. They had to reject it, man. They had to be taught first, and they had to reject it, man. The Israelites who knew they was Israelites. Okay? This says Matthew 10 and 5. It said, these 12 YAHAWASHI sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles and into any city of Samaria. Why he didn't go into Samaria? Let's find out. Now, was it Israelites mingled? Was it Israelites mingled? Yeah, you had Israelites mingled. Okay? You had Israelites everywhere. You think they weren't in Samaria? Shit. That was everywhere, man. That's just common sense, man. But you had heathens in there, man. This 2 Kings 17 and 2 Kings 17 and let me see here. Oh, you can go back to 1 Kings 16 and 24 and find out why it was called Samaria. You can go back to that. 1 Kings 16 and 24. But the point I want is in 2 Kings 17 and let me see here. When the Heavenly Father had kicked the northern kingdom out of Samaria, right? And he put heathens in that land. All right, let me start at 17. I ain't gonna read the whole thing, but I'm gonna start at 17, and the point is in 24, but I'll start at 20. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel. That's talking about the northern kingdom, right? That's not talking about the southern kingdom. That's talking about the northern kingdom, right? And afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of the spoilers. Who are the spoilers? Who are the spoilers? Those are Assyrians, right? Until he had cast them out of his sight. What was his sight? In the land of Samaria, right? And he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drove Israel from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight. How did he move them out of his sight? Took them from their land, kicked them out of Samaria by way of captivity by the Assyrians. Okay? And it says, verse 23, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, and he had said by all his servants, the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. So they were scattered, man. They were scattered. And then you had someone, when you read in 2 Kings, let me see. It's somewhere in 2 Kings. I can't find it right now. It might be 10. I don't want to waste too much time on it. But you read 2 Kings 18 and 11, and you had the king of Assyria put about 30,000 Israelites in the land of the Medes, man. You had about 30,000 of them get put in the land of the Medes, man. Too. They just went in Assyria. They went into the land of the Medes too. Okay, when you read 2 Kings 18 and 11, right? And going back, and he rent, verse 21, for he rent Israel from the house of David, and made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave D-R-A-V-E, drave Israel from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants, the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kutah, and from Avah, and from Hamath, and from Sarvim. I think that's how you pronounce it. Salaki if I pronounce it wrong. Sarfarim. I think that's how you pronounce it. Salaki. They placed them in the city of Samaria instead of the children of Israel, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the city thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the city of Samaria know not the manner of the Most High of this land. Therefore, he had sent lions among them, and behold, they slayed them, because they know not the manner of the God in the Most High of the land, right? And then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach the manner of the Most High. Let him teach the manner of the God of the land, the Most High of the land. So that's where you get them Colossian Jews at, them foreigners, them fake Jews, man.
That's right.
Okay? Because them Ethiopians, they was taught, man. They was taught the custom of the statute, laws, and commandments, because one priest was teaching them, because if they didn't keep the laws of that land, them lions will come up on them, man. That's part of them curses, right? And that's how you know them gutter rats are keeping some of them laws that's in them lands, or them lions that come up on them, man. Okay? That's why you see them walk around with their beards, man. Okay? They keeping the statute law, they keeping part of the statute, laws, and commandments, but their main book is the Talmud. Okay? Their main book is the Talmud, which came around at the end of the Maccabean empire, man. Okay? During Herod, man. You know, Herod marrying an Israelite woman, one of the one of the Maccabees' daughters, man. Okay? The Talmud go back to Babylonian worship. The Israelites were making mockery Herod them. Okay? When they were dealing with that Talmud. Okay? So they put heathens in their land. So going back to Matthew 10 and 5, these 12 YAHAWASHI sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles. Those are Israelites, because they wouldn't manifest to the Israelites in the Gentile state of mind yet about YAHAWASHI, because the Israelites who knew they were Israelites had to reject the truth, right? And into any city of Samaria. Why? Because them heathens was in their land. Mainly because them heathens was in their land, okay? Them Ethiopians, right? But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? And say, and as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, right? So it was told, that was a great commission to tell Israel, to tell the disciples, look, go and teach the lost sheep of the house of Israel. When you look up that word lost, it means destroyed. Tell them the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So they were sent to go teach Israel, but them Gentiles right there, it wasn't time for them for YAHAWASHI to be manifest to them yet. Okay? That's what that's talking about. Right? And I got one more, and I'm gonna close out. Right? This is the last scripture. This Romans 15 and I'll read this. I'll read this first. This Romans 16 and 25. Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of YAHAWASHI Mashiach according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret since the world began. What's the secret about the Gentiles, man? Who the Gentiles were. Okay? You got two different forms of the Gentiles, man, and about the salvation of Israel, man. You got two different forms of Gentiles. You got the Gentile Israelites that's in the Gentile state of mind, that's taking on the customs of the other nations, and then you got the actual Gentiles, right, that's not going to receive salvation. The Israelites that's taking on the customs of the other nations in the Gentile state of mind, that's the mystery that they were going to receive salvation, right? But now, verse 26, but now it is manifest, and by the scriptures